Live from Music City, Nashville, Tennessee. This is your motivational, sensational, inspirational, educational, aspirational, international, keenly awaited, daily created, highly anticipated edition of the Afternoon Swing Trading Floor with your humble host, Jeremy Alexander Newsom, with another daily dose of mentally delicious brain food, reminding each of you to love life, and trade it. What's going on, folks, from around the world? We're here a little early today. It is the week of the Real Life Trading Retreat here in Nashville. And I just want to let everyone know, true story, best days of my life. Man, so good. Having an absolute blast. I don't know if you're all watching me from the trading retreat cabin or not, but I'm here at my office in my house, mostly because the internet is a little challenging at the cabin for a lot of people, so I just want to make sure I get this broadcast off and going. But yeah, folks, more information soon coming your way from the next retreat. I'm going to tell the people in the retreat tonight, the next time I'm going to be hosting a legit live event. That'll be, those traders will be getting that opportunity to get some information on that tonight. And yeah, it's gonna be an exciting time. So anyway, Linderman says we are on. Beautiful. I love it. Donnie Baldwin is here. Sharon's coming later. Linderman says 10 of us are downstairs watching on the big screen. Yeah. I'm gonna be there in about 2 hours, folks. I love it. All right, let's review Tech Giant Tuesday. Want to give a shout out to some traders who were trading today in person at the Real Life Trading Retreat. Shout out number one goes to Justin Jeff, aka Double J, getting himself 4 R's this morning on a futures trade. Congrats on the big win today. That was killer. Let me show you what he did. So he played this on the futures trade. The ES, very similar to the SPY, obviously. But this was when, we're all in the room together. Everyone was there, and he kind of played this bearish move on the ES right there. And I was actually mentioning, I don't know if you're here, DJ, or you're listening in, but I was talking to DJ earlier, and I talked right about there. I was mentioning it was a phenomenal place to go long on the SPY and on the ES. I don't know if TJ got a chance to play that, but that was good for a few pennies. Anyway, really good experience. I'll throw up some pictures just in case you haven't got a chance to check it out for those who are in the recording or you're live here. Here's a quick glimpse from my girl posting the chart. So there was kind of what we were doing today. Bunch of charts, bunch of traders. It was so good. Rob says he got an R off of a similar move on the NQ. Beautiful. I love it. DJ says, nope. Hey, no big deal, man. At least the cool news is we were watching it together and we kind of spotted why it would work, and that is equally as important. But yeah, it was a really wonderful day. Still is a wonderful day. We all have dinner out tonight. Just tons of opportunities. Man, to enrich lives together, I'm so jazzed up. So the SPY bouncing off of the 10 on the daily chart. Weird. We've never seen that happen before. And the other cool part is if we check it out, the open and the close of today are the exact same. Today's a perfect doge. We got a doji on the SPY. So if we continue higher, cool. If we continue lower, cool. But today is a great doji. I could easily see how I could bounce off the 10 and just keep this bull party alive. Here's the Qs. A little bit of a lower shadow on the Qs. Nothing to see there. Here's the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones retesting this retest gap, right? So you had a gap action, white candle gapping up. There's the retest. So this is where people are buying on that pullback. So yeah, we got a little bit of a retest out in the market today. We'll just see what transpires. And as far as our official swing trades, we will look at them, but I feel like we're set up pretty well for whatever happens. If the market does have a bigger retracement, we have some bear positions. And if the market has a really strong surge, we have some bull positions. I feel like we're pretty good, nice and neutral for the official swing trades. We'll look at some of those today. Obviously, the weekly options newsletter comes out later tonight. or I should say this afternoon, but we'll all get an experience to check that out together. Anyway, that's just my thoughts on the broader markets. Questions, concerns, thoughts, or oppositional viewpoints before we dive in. All right. Perfect. Looks like you guys are good to go. All right, wonderful. Let's dive in then. First on the list, here's the list. We have OLED, OLED. And let's see what OLED's doing. OLED, what drawing? This was off the weekly. So we got ourselves, this is the daily chart you're looking at right now, the 100, 200 simple moving average, 200 act as a brick wall. This weekly chart, this was my drawing of what I would love for it to do. I don't know if it will or not, probably won't, but until then, I'm just going to wait on OLED to trade down to the 100. Chop around, trade sideways. I'm just going to give that one some time. No trade on it presently. AVYA. AVYA. What do we got? A little bit of a bearish candle. Okay. All right. This is interesting because you had a nice resistance, kind of a double bottom pattern that was coming in here. So there's your double bottom right there. Nice. And then pull back to that 100 is possible. So whoever is requesting AVYA, you'll notice you got some resistance right up here. A little bit of resistance right up here. Got some higher lows coming in right about here. At some point, we could see this one have a nice breakout. As far as what it's going to do now, if you're looking at snagging some, I'd probably have a small position here at 2170, and then I would add more if we get down to 20. Otherwise, no official swing trade. I'll pass on that and move on to something else. Let's go see what BJ's is doing. Ticker symbol B and J. 2 letters, both consonants. BJ's earnings came out. I think my buddy Johnny Childs is in this one. And there's a few others that look good. So right now, I think we're good. Got a really nice higher low. Good resistance right here. So you'll notice that this thing broke above, right? Had a really killer retest and then had a nice bounce. Today's an inside day candle. So this is cool. What's interesting about today, what I like about days like this, there would be days like this, my mama said, was a day like today is kind of important if you find a good gap because it's not only a new monthly candle, it's a new weekly candle, and it's a new daily candle. Only happens once a month. And if you can find a stock that is gapping, which we have, there are some out there, feel free to keep your eyes on those. But regarding BJ's, you got your inside candle today. The hourly chart looks clean. Here's your hourly time frame, and your moving averages look good. So, Johnny, you're still in that one. Looks good, man. Keep holding. All is well. GSKY. GSKY. Your boy Yatesy McGee is in this trade. GSKY, let's pull up the daily chart. Green sky. Made a little bit of a higher high on Friday and just kind of retested today. So I know Yates is out of some of his position on green sky. Let me come here to an hourly chart, see if I can wave count this thing. It looks, whatever wave we're in, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, correction. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would mean that we're in a 1, 2. Yeah, I could dig this. Expect this to happen, Yatesy McGee. Something like that, just like a quick lower shadow to kind of flush through some of those stops. So get it to about 1850, most likely. And I obviously don't know if it's going to bounce for sure, but if it does, it's probably what it's looking to do. Here's the weekly candle, and you're getting inside week. Volume was declining pretty much the whole way up on the weekly, so you got like this little decline. Again, I could see it making that new low or higher low at some point on an IPO, newer IPO level. That makes a lot of sense for that to occur. And of course, as I mentioned today, brand new month. I love new months because you're going to get tons of new data. A lot of bullish volume for August. Tons. So if September we get an inside month on Green Sky and then we break out, I'd like that as a bull trade. I think this will be a fun IPO for us to keep an eye on. I know a lot of you like trading some of those, and we can make some good money on some of those from time to time. So that's Green Sky. I have all kinds of option premiums out there available to sell, or I should say at least buying power available. And AMBA is one that I'm looking at. Justin says a lot of blue sky ahead, but maybe not yet for Green Sky. Yes. It's been a pun-filled week, friends. I'm loving it. So good. Umbrella, you got a ginormous bullish candle down here out of support. And what I'm trying to keep an eye on is there a time to sell a put on this particular stock, or can we do a directional trade perhaps? What's interesting is on a weekly time frame, there is a little bit of premium in a 32.50 put sale. So at 32.50, you could get 30 cents, which is right at that 1% range. That would make it 20% lower than it is now, but it is only 30 cents. There's no moving average or nothing down there to really prop that candle up. It's a really good support, and I would have loved it even more if it had made a new low relative to this giant candle back on February 16th, but it did not, at least not yet. So I don't know if that'll happen, but I think I'm just going to pass on that put sale. I think I'm just going to keep waiting on AMBA on the option sell. However, it is a big support. We do have an inside day candle with a little bit of a lower shadow. So here's the hourly time frame. And the hourly, I just turn all these moving averages off. The hourly chart, not bad. Here's what's interesting. This little lower shadow right here stops some people out. That was today, early morning. So I would expect it to do something like this, and we could probably get it back for the exact same price. I'm just going to draw it. I'll come back and look at it tomorrow. If it's doing what I want or what I would expect it to do, then maybe we do it. I am looking at going long down here at AMBA. You have just a gnarly bullish candle inside day, today, and is at a really good support. So we will just have to see. And that's about it. All right. Next on the list, we're making good time, AMAT. So this is one of our official swing trades that we are in, and it's not working. So if you're in puts or you're able to short the stock, it made a little bit of a lower low today with relatively decent volume. So I think if you're going to be in, you're in. So we're going to now move this to 42.70. So we can just look at it and we'll say in bearish here. And that's what we look like. So here's your exponential moving averages. We got a retest gap. I'm going to do my best to leave this one alone at least until September 15th. Leave alone until 9/15. Why 9/15? Arbitrary date. I mean, it's not that far away. It's 11 trading days ahead of where we are now. Well, 11 calendar days. So it's not that far. Yeah. So, I mean, 2 R's is kind of forever away, kind of, sort of. Here's the weekly chart, right? So we did have a white candle gap down on a weekly. Mark says it's a Saturday. Shoot. All right, let's do 9/14 then. 9/14. Okay, perfection. Speaking of an updated day, thanks, Mark, by the way, for that. I appreciate it. If you click on the About tab right here, you can click on Calendar. That's what the new calendar is, just for updated, real-life trading events. I will be updating this one tonight when I speak to the team to get a more exact and succinct details of precisely what's happening. But you'll notice that Brad Reed is in the afternoon room from 4 p.m. Eastern, Thursday and Friday. He'll also be there on Wednesday. So I'm going to, again, confirm specifically what's going on. But these 2 days, I'm off, kind of, sort of. So I'm just traveling those 2 days, getting up to Boise, Idaho, hanging out with some traders, and I'm going elk hunting in the wilderness for 3 days. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I've never been, no idea what to expect, but myself and Robert Falco, Kevin Toops, and Randy Diones, we're going. We're doing that, and it's pretty much what's happening. So that's going to be a really phenomenal event, and then I'm flying back to Nashville on the 12th. So live from Boise, Idaho will be happening on the 10th for Mentorship Monday. Linderman says Brad has Friday. Blake has Thursday afternoon. Killer. All right. Ray says, take warm clothes. Yes, sir. I will indeed, my friend. Will indeed. Warm clothes will be happening. In fact, I'm going to pack Thursday sometime. Anyway, so just kind of throwing that out there. Some small changes, very minute updates and details with everyone, but that's kind of what we have at the present moment. And that's just where the new calendar is, just in case you all want to know. All right, wonderful. So AMAT, leave alone till 9:14, unless, of course, it hits a 2R target, which I think will just be our target for right now. 3870 numerically is where we got. That is kind of forever away. But I will put that just in case we get real lucky. I'm going to go to settings, to our everything. So again, this is just one bearish trade that we can have there just in case, right? Maybe the market sinks and we get a little bit of a trade. But our stop is now above the 20. It's above the 10. I'm going to let the market interact with the 10. I love the fact that we closed low this can. I love the fact that we gap. I love this trade, so that's why we're going to stay in it. Next on the list, we have 3D printing. DDD. And I was looking on 3D printing to also do a potential put sale. Numerous times we've sold puts on 3D together. You'll note it's at kind of the top of this channel. So if I kind of zoom out, you'll see kind of the top of the channel and looking good, right? So we have that. And what I'm looking for or kind of planning on is a potential kind of, S-curve back into old resistance, new support. Something like this maybe. So if we pull into 1825 on 3D printing, I'm looking at doing some type of put sale because I've sold a lot of puts on 3D. If we do a 15 put sale for October, I could get 22 cents, which I think is what we might do. Because again, today we're down 3%. If I do a 14, actually this might be the winner. 14, I could get 14 cents. It's exactly 1% for a month and a half. And that's below all kinds of things. That is going to be the one. All right. So October, and again, you by no means have to do this trade. But I certainly have no real qualms with owning 1,000 shares of 3D printing at $14 per share. Put sale October, 10 contracts, 14-cent limit. Okay. Put sale on 3D again, question mark. Below, let's see. This one is below the 100, 200 SMA on a weekly and below the 100 SMA on a daily. Buy low, sell high. All right, neutral. I don't know, beyond technical analysis maybe? Tags, I'll just do put sale, real life trading, 3D printing. Cool. Linderman says, Matt says, turn on the naked put indicator on 3D. I don't think 3D grows as much as Matt wants when he's doing his put sales. I think I have it saved. Do I have this one saved? I just updated this the other day. I don't think I have it saved, Matt. But if I'm correct, it's probably pretty close to here. Linderman says an invite only. Dang, Matt, you haven't invited me to like this? I'm just kidding. I know he has. I think he sent it to me like 2 days ago. I definitely have it somewhere. I'll track it down. It's gonna be close to here. That put sale. It'll be very close. But anyway, I like that area, and we'll see what it does and what it looks like. Go to invite only. Invite only. Invite only scripts. Make it put growth indicator. There we go. Nice. So Matt's is at 1621. Let me just go ahead and save this. Save in our calendar template. DeLong. By the way, everyone, Matt DeLong's presentation on trader psychology will be starting in 2 hours. So for you in the basement of the Real Life Trading Cabin Retreat, that's where it'll be. And for you beautiful people who want to hear Matt's presentation, we will have another Matt DeLong extraordinarily wisdomatic presentation sometime in November for option sales. So you guys will like that one a lot. So that's coming up in the future. But anyway, that's the put sale. That's the location that I like. I'm a fan. If you want to go higher, so like I said, 16. Matt says 16 is cool. A 16 for October is 35 cents. Pretty killer. All right, so credit spreads, current month. Hop over here to 9/4/2018, 3D printing, short strike 14, 14 cents, October 19th, naked put, and we'll throw that in Racha. Racha. All right, beautiful. Thanks, Linderman, for your help. Thank you, Matt, for your wisdom. Next on the list is Pandora, ticker symbol P. Pandora, and I was looking at this trade to potentially break out or pull back. And it might be on the verge of pulling back. So bottom line, we'll give it 1 or 2 more days. I'll come back and look at this again tomorrow. It's not ready yet, but I do like the trend that it's in. A few people talking about an Apple buying Pandora as a possibility. I don't foresee that happening personally. I think that's just a rumor on the streets, as they say. But technicals still make me like this trend. Good volume, good close above the 100 on a weekly for the first time ever. It's never closed above there before, and I like that. On the list for tomorrow, we're going to keep an eye on it. All right, now we get to look at JD.com. Hi, my name's JD with JD.com. Made $47 today on JD. Who's jealous? JD, it was a day trade that we placed. Here was the 5-minute chart. Could have done a little bit better on it, but I really don't feel bad how he exited and how he played this one. So this is one that Brad was also looking at this morning, but the setup was, so I saw that support. And when I saw that support, I was looking at these candles to close, and I wanted to go below this wick and below this candle. So our entry, I mean, I did post it in Slack and everywhere else, but our entry was just right below there. I'm trying to find a line. All right, so this is where the entry was. So here's the blue line. Our entry was right below the blue line. Our stop was way the heck up here. Almost exited right there, but I decided against it. And then when this came down, it had 4 white candles in a row. That's when I sent everyone a Slack message and said, hey, let's bail on the trade for a very small gain. So anyway, that was the day trade. Now, we are in some leaps on this one off of a support. We got triggered into those on Friday, and those are up. Let me rephrase. Let me rephrase. The puts that we purchased are up. So we're up on the puts that we bought. We're also up on the calls that we sold. So we sold some September $33 calls for 30 cents. So those we're up on, and the puts we're up on. Robert Falco sold some puts at 26 for October. This chart does look deathly. This is a gap on all time frames, a weekly, a monthly, and a daily. As much as I want JD.com to go higher, I've once heard, someone's told me just because I want something to happen doesn't mean it will. So with this gap, usually if I get into a leap or a longer term trade, I know within 2 months if I'm going to be right or not. It does not seem that I'm going to be right on JD. So if this thing continues any lower, I'll probably just buy more protective puts. More protective puts? And I had a lot of traders ask me today, when and how long do I buy protective puts for if I'm on shares or leaves? This is right about that time, right about that 2 month time frame. 2 months, kind of at the money. So if we keep going lower, I'll probably try holding these to 26. And once that occurs, we actually should be up pretty decent, depending on how many puts we end up buying, or how high they go or how far in the money they go. If this thing goes down to 26, we'll almost break even on the trade. We'll still lose a little bit, but it really won't be that bad. Obviously, the calls will be pretty much underwater, but we'll get to decide at that point if we want to hold them or what we want to do. They've only gone down $1, the actual puts that we bought, and we're up 50 cents on the puts and 10 cents on the call sales. So we're down 40 cents on the overall trade. It's not as ugly as it might seem, but it does appear that it probably won't work. Mark says, looks like the CEO arrest had consequences. It looks like it. So it's a strong gap. It's breaking all support. Now, again, if we keep going lower and we can protect ourselves and mitigate risk on the downside, if and when JD.com gets down to 2057, that'll be a spot where I'm going to try it again. Now, what's interesting is DJ, I'll give you another one that I was looking at, was this one right here on JD. Me and DJ were talking about something specific. Go measure that wick for me right there, Mr. DJ, if you want, on JD, and have a nice large smile, because that was a wick. Be the wick. All right, that's JD. Done. We're in. We're protecting ourselves. It feels good to have a plan. Apple. Someone once told me they made money. All-time highs, new all-time highs again today, 229.18. I keep waiting to sell a covered call on Apple, and I think I've been a good boy. I've waited probably long enough. I've said that before, but I'm thinking a 240 October. That's another 11 points away, pays $3.20. 240 for October, pays $3. So that's what I'm doing. That's how much I lost on the last covered call. So if I can buy this one back, or if I can win on this one, 240 October, $3.20 limit. Pretty much going to sell it open. Now, for those who have at least 100 shares of Apple, it is an absolute beast right now. But the extension's getting a little comical. I love me some Apple. Another 12 points is not ostentatious, but we haven't even hit the 10 since earnings. I mean, we all said collectively if Apple gapped up on earnings above this resistance, she was going to fly. This is what flying looks like, my friends. This is what it looks like. And on this day, I had to buy back that covered call already. That was a September 215. Very glad I did. Following that plan. And that plan. All right. Apple covered call. Wowzers. That's a lot of premium. Had to buy to close the last one. I don't think I'll have to buy to close this one. If this covered call does not work, I'll host a free webinar where I give away a pair of Apple Pods. How about that? That's the wager. Boom. Now we're all in it together. So when I say work, work equals expires worthless. That's what work means. Strong trend. Am I trying to call the top? Kind of. Apple could easily go up to 242, 243, and then it'll get a little bit of retracement. That's almost 15 points higher than it is right now. I mean, that would be almost laughable if it continues to do that. But I mean, it's, you know, buy the rumor, sell the news. Apple's been that way forever. With Warren Buffett coming out talking Apple and, you know, new products and releases and so on and so forth. It's good. Mark says, that's where my fib fan sits, about 242-ish. Nice, nice. So yeah, folks, I'm so bullish on Apple. I do think it's going to go higher, but if you're in, let me rephrase. If you're not in, I wouldn't be getting in today. Hasn't even hit the 10 yet. So Apple, you're chasing it if you're not in. Type in a 2 if you are in, though. Let's get some 2s. Let me see some 2s. Mark's in, throw it in a 2. I like it. I'll throw in, Sharon's in, 3 2s. Baldwin's throwing in 3 2s. I like it. All right, Ray's throwing in a 2. Nice. December's throwing in a 2. Beautiful. Some 2s in the basement. All right. That sounds like the most epic rock band of all time. 2s in the basement. So here's Facebook. Mr. Squiggles not predicting this gap down, which means it's probably going to be a strong one. I really am kind of interested to see what Facebook is going to do as of today. So obviously we got pretty much these lows pegged decently well. The low of this candle was 170. Low of this candle was 170.27. The low of today, 168.80. So it just threw in a nice little shadow, just enough to stop anyone who had the stop put right here. I did mention for anyone in calls or long-term shares to buy some protection back here. So you probably are still in those puts. It gapped on the weekly. Here's your long-term moving averages. Those are a little far away. We're going to watch Facebook real close. I do actually think Facebook has the ability to bounce here. However, if we get, and I'm going to go ahead and plan this one out. What's today? 9. Is today really September 4th? If Facebook trades sideways a few days, watch it. Plan for a break lower. Let me rephrase. Don't be afraid of a break lower. There we go. I do think Facebook goes higher. Eventually it fills this gap. It's just going to take a little bit of time. So decent lower shadow. Stopping anyone who had their stops right here. Very similar to this day. And then that bounced. So I'm good with the bull. I'm expecting the bull to bounce pretty much the next 2-3 days. If it does not, then that's fine. But I mean, we got, again, you got a bearish gap on a monthly chart. So that's not super great. Not super great. So Facebook, watch these lower shadows, a sideways trade for a little bit. And yeah, we could have some fun on Facebook on the downside. And then we'll play it long off the 100 on a weekly. Netflix, NFLX, hanging out. So Dean's got some put sales. I still got my wager out there that Facebook will hit 300 before earnings. Will this be that area? I do not know. What I can say on Netflix, though, is this right here. Pretty good evening star reversal. Now, very similar to what we were talking about over here. That was the last evening star where we were battling the 100 simple. This evening star we'd have to battle the 100 simple again, right? So you have some supports here. So, you know, if it breaks down and hangs around and then breaks lower, I would like Netflix to go a lot higher, up into the 400s, but all I'm going to say is for my bearish sentiment to potentially play out, this is an evening star. If it trades lower into the 100, it will be a strong retest of this pivot right here. And I'll be watching how it interacts with that pivot. And if it breaks that pivot lower, I will try again. I will play bearish again. And we'll see what she does. I love Netflix as a company, but I think collectively we can all agree that it's gone a little too far, too fast. And this is probably not the best time to get in. I'm thinking this is the beginning of a double top. And if you have long-term leaps or put sales or whatever, just have a protection plan in place. That's all. Next on the list, BABA. Bye-bye, BABA. Man, down 2.61%. You got a new black crow on BABAs today. You had a really solid bullish gap and go on this day, right? And then we closed below that with an ugly evening star candle pattern in just 3 days later. So we closed below it. This was the close. And then we had a white candle, which was Friday, and we gapped down today. So today is a new black crow. My thoughts on BABA still is we're going to trap everyone who stops are just in these super obvious spots. Everyone has their stop at about 163.93. I'm not saying you guys have your stops there. I'm saying anyone short term is going to have their stops there. I don't know how gnarly it's going to get on BABA. I really don't. But what I can say for sure is this is an inside candle. I can say that for sure. And we gapped down out of that pattern. So, yeah. I mentioned on Slack today, watch for Facebook and Tesla to continue a little bit lower. For my day traders or super short-term traders, you can be looking for those lows to come in most likely as we roll down some. My plan is it'll probably retest, trade down into here, stop everybody out, and then potentially bounce. And maybe BABA's bounce will be the bounce that China has been looking for as far as the Chinese stocks with JD, IQ, Bilibili, which we're also in, Sogo, a few others are looking a little rough right now. Tencent. So we'll see what we get on the weekly with BABA. But Falco has a 150 put sale for October. He really doesn't mind getting put any shares of BABA. And if you don't have any put sales and you don't have any position in BABA and you want some, as it starts trading down to the support, you could be keeping your eyes ready and get your plan ready for a potential bounce play. So yeah, that's all I got right now on BABA. Still shorter term, a little bit on the bearish side as it likely is going to flush into these supports. And then we'll have to see. Okay. The Googs, I don't have any position on the Googs right now. It looks a little toppish. We are right at the 50. Takeaway. Wait for it to bounce tomorrow. I mean, you're here at the 50, so if you are just an absolute robot, you probably bought some positions here. Not that we've ever bounced off the 50 before or anything. I know that's really rare for stocks to do, but we are here again. And could Google bounce? Absolutely. What if it doesn't? I mean, long-term, Google's fine. But on a short-term scale, you already have 3 bearish candles in a row. So I would definitely personally wait for any kind of bear play on Google. But as far as a pullback, I mean, I'd love to see a pullback to 1170, something like that. So, yeah, until then, I don't have anything on Google. Just moving on. Okay, next on the list, Micron Technology. So Micron, what's cool about Micron is it had a retest gap on a weekly chart right there. That gap also happened on the daily. And you can see a nice lower shadow today. Here's the long-term moving averages, and Micron is trapped in between those long terms. It's going to hang out sideways for a while. Personally, I can see a lot of evidences that MU will just be in this channel for a bit. Something like this. And we'll probably distribute in here for a while. So as we trade sideways, we'll just kind of see what would happen, what's going to occur, what it does. But the 45 put sale for September expires in 2 weeks. Right now, there's actually still premium down there for $7 away. That's pretty amazing. So I like that lower shadow, and we'll see if it can gap down, what it ends up doing. I don't think it's going to gap down. But anyway, that's all I have on MU. A few traders got triggered in bullish today on MU, which makes sense to me. I think it's going to channel for a while, kind of hang out, do its thing. Again, if we look at the weekly, that 100 is way down there at 37.45. We come over to Matt's indicator for his put sale strikes. It's at 46.04, so I'm right in that correct spot. So I like it. Okay, next on the list we have Square. Square is making a mockery of me and stock market right now. $91.25. Seriously? This 85 covered call went that quickly in the money. I might get called away on Square, guys, at 85. I think I might just have to let that happen. I think Square at this point, I know a few of you have some shares. I might get called away at 85 and have to start doing some put sales to get back in it. Simple as that. This thing is on a rampage, and I don't think I mind getting called away at 85. That would be approximately a 720% return. So, I don't know. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, Victor's got covered calls up there. I think Julian was doing some shares, and my boy Jesse's doing some shares. Sharon, Donnie Baldwin playing some shares. I mean, Square is just on fire. Powerhouse trend right now. It's at 91. 91. I'm looking at this chart blown away. Blown away. What's your target for Square, big man? Text my buddy Richard, seeing what he's thinking. All right, that's what I got on Square. I might just keep holding that and get called away. Awesome. VRAY. What do we got? VRAY. We got 17 more minutes. ViewRay. I'm still waiting. We had that little double bottom. I was excited about it. I'm less excited about it looking at that candle. I'm just going to move on. CRON did it again today. This stock is smoking. My boy Charles doing his first put sale ever at $7.50 for October. He also bought some with what he refers to as a puke order. I think he bought some at 10. He had a 10 and a 9. Never got, well, I think 10 and an 8. I forget his exact orders, but I know he filled at 10 for some on Cron. Bottom line, it retested. My boy Bob says he sold some $10 puts on it today for September for 35 cents. All right, so that expires on the 7th. I love it. And I love it. I like taking trades when I'm with you. All right, so this Friday, put sale, your boy Bob L. This Friday, 35 cents. Getting it. $10. Yes, Sereno. I'm going to put you on the list. We'll look at it Friday. Nice short day in the markets. Short week in the markets, I should say. This is a retest gap. I would not be massively surprised if it retests, but that is my thoughts on CRON. Next on the list, we have Carnival Cruise Line, CCL. And Carnival's at 61.20. A few traders had a 62.50 put sale on Carnival, expiring in January, so still pretty far out there. Here's your long-term moving averages on a weekly. We're battling the 100 on a weekly right now, kind of from the bottom a little bit. Here's the daily chart, and if I just hide all the lines. So we're battling the 100 on a daily and the 100 on a weekly on Carnival. Simple as that. Nice little spot. I think Cheryl Mall also has some shares, also is doing some covered calls on Carnival. As far as a official swing trade, or I think grammatically correct, I should say an official swing trade, I don't have anything on Carnival right now. Mark says, Carnival launched their largest ever cruise ship last weekend. 250,000 people attended. Wow. Are we going on it, Mark? When we partying on that ship, man? I want to party with you. I was not one of those people in attendance, though, but I did hear a little bit about it. That's cool. That's interesting news, but it did not affect the stock. At least it doesn't look like it yet. Next on the list, we have Disney. Ticker symbol DIS. And Disney got punched right in the Mickey today. This is, here's the problem, is the 50's right there. So we're going to come back to this one for maybe a super quick swing trade at some degree on some form or fashion. I just don't see anything that I love on it yet. Yeah. I love the candle. I'm going to put it on the list to day trade tomorrow. By the way, for those traders in the basement, I haven't told you this yet. Maybe I have. I would love to see a trading competition tomorrow. Trading competition tomorrow morning between two rooms. We're going to have Team Blake and Team Brad. I'm going to be the referee. We're going to see who wins. We're going to be drawing names out of a hat later tonight to see who's on which team. It's going to be sweet. Anyway, I'm putting it on the list for tomorrow morning. Disney, just to see what she can do. I like this gap. Today is a new black crow, which is a black candle that opens and closes below the prior day white candle's close. Disney, looking forward to trade lower if it can break through that fitted. Shopify. So I did exit Shopify probably a little bit early last week, but it was towards the end of August, so I want to lock in some gains and be cool. I like today's candle. I know my buddy Kevin Stone said he's holding it until his arms get sore. The 100's at 147.81. I think Julian got out for a small gain. A few other traders got out for a small gain. But if you're still holding Shopify, congrats. Simple as that. Some Morningstar reversal on a weekly chart. Not the greatest one, but yeah, you got some resistance in your way. We already took that as an official trade. I feel like we did well on it. We played it pretty decently. So, DJ, this was another one that I was talking about not too long ago, and I can't remember if you saw me talk about this one or not, but this was a phenomenal break of this lower shadow right there, just by about a quarter, right off the 200. That was sick. What an entry that would have been. Whew. So Shopify doing its thing. Most of us are out of Shopify for that short-term swing. Here's one that I missed. Sale. SAIL. I say I missed it because I got out too soon. Sale just kept on storming the castles of profit. So congrats, Yates, for holding on to Sale longer than I did. Nice S-curve. I got out of Sale right here, but it was my plan because all of my trades were profitable at that time, so I just more or less had to. Anyway, it's all good. If you're still in Sale from that gap, nice, right? It was a gap and go. It S-curved and it bounced. I mean, that's when we got in. There's still some traders in on Sale, and if you are one of those, congrats. That was a killer trend. Looks really nice. Next on the list, we got Boeing. Ticker symbol BA. Boeing got that bullish engulfing candle today. Long-term moving averages look toasty. Trying to see if there's anything else on Boeing that I would look at. No, not really. I know Peju and a few other traders love playing Boeing. If I were 1/4 as amazing as Brad Reed, I would probably have an entry here, stop somewhere down here. I'd get into a half a position, see what it does, let it rotate down, get into another half, have my stop, and see if she can bounce. I do like the bullish engulfing candle today on Boeing. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think Niels and Adrian and maybe even Matt DeLong are looking at some put sales around 315 or so on Boeing, but right now the trend looks gorgeous. Doing its thing, rocking it out. Goldman Sachs, which is a great name. Goldman Sachs, I was looking at this for a swing trade as well. I really do like this lower shadow today. I'm a fan right off the 100 simple moving average. This one is one that I might be doing an option sale on. I just can't find any delectable premium yet. That's the problem. I'll do a weekly chart. I would love to do a 205 put sale, but that is like no premium down there. If you want to do something more aggressive, if you're a Goldman Sachs fan, just looking at this chart, it looks like she's going to bounce. I'm going to put this one on my list for tomorrow morning as well and see if I can day trade this one tomorrow. That's Disney and Goldman Sachs. I'm going to be watching tomorrow morning. For some reason, I like it. Off the 100 on the hourly, daily, and weekly. That is rare. That's what Frank Doyle wanted me to find earlier today. He said, can you find me a stock bouncing off the 100 simple on a weekly, daily, and hourly? Frank Doyle. There you go, baby. Goldman Sachs. Next on the list, we got Tilray. And Tilray, till going higher. What an absolute monster. I have no idea. I don't even know what to do. I'm speechless. I should just go on to the next stock. There's only one sector that can go from $23 to $70 in 2 weeks. And that's going to have to be weed. That weed game is strong. Let me hop over to Sammy. Dude, Tilray. Getting wrecked. Starting to feel a little paranoid about when Tilray might pull back, but I mean, congrats if you made money. Sorry if you didn't hold on that. I didn't hold it. I did everything wrong that you could do on Tilray. Meaning I'm missing all of this money. All of it. I didn't even day trade it today. I don't think anyone in the day trading room pulled it up. By the way, DJ, turn it up. DJ, bring it back. There's your lower shadow right below, just trapping everybody. Solid. Tilray, killer of a move. All right, next on the list, we got OLLI. Ollie World. Oh, no, sorry, Ollie's Bargain Outlet, which I would have to argue is one of the most surprise moves of all time. Look at this weekly chart. Look at this IPO. Ollie's Bargain Outlet. Look at that trend. Guess it was two thumbs and didn't take that trade at all, ever. This guy. I mean, look at this off of the daily chart. Even Frank Doyle could have taken that trade. Look at this. You have this giant bullish candle. You get a little bit of a bearish candle. Then you got a little new white soldier. I mean, you're getting in around here, the stop here, unless of course you just bought right off the 100. And look at this S curve into the one, off she goes. Woo! Now, this is obviously the best time to buy Ollie's Bargain Outlet since it's the highest of all time, never been higher. Can't get a better bargain than buying at the highest it's ever been. So it's a great time to buy. Sarcastically, everyone's asking, what did the DeLong indicator say? I never got that S. I don't think this stock grows at 40% annually, so there was no S. Usually you're going to get a dollar sign a Matt DeLong dollar sign will come up when you're supposed to sell that put on this put sale. It would have been a 57.50 put though. That's what I got on Ollie's Bargain. Don't buy it. It's too high. Keep waiting. Everbridge. This is what made your boy Fred Atwater join the Comma Club. EVBG helping. He's taking some trades on this one. Nice looking trend. This thing is just storming the castle. Storming that castle. Man, Everbridge. Good pullback. Nice little S-curve last 2 or 3 days. I'm not in on this one either. I feel like I looked at it back in here after earnings. I mean, you got to love that move. Look at that. That is like a unicorn. White candle gapping up, retest. And you get a new white soldier. Let's really zoom in. I'm going to spend 30 seconds talking about this new white soldier. What I love about this candle is you have this lower shadow, just barely lower than these other shadows. So you know some people just have their stop right below that candle. Got punched right in the kneecap on that day. And that's a white candle that opens and closes above the prior day. Black candles closed. Entry's there. Stop is there. Killer trade. Whew. So if you're in Everbridge, keep holding. Looks gorgeous. Got 4 left and 3 minutes. Foot Locker, ticker symbol FL. Trading sideways, real sideways. If you got in bullish, I understand why, right? Because you have this massive hammer candle, another massive hammer candle, bearish candle closed above the resistance. I get it. Since it's as sideways as a Texas pancake, I would simply say give it a certain amount of time to do what it is that you want it to do. And if Foot Locker does not, in that period of time, break out of this squeeze in between the 100 and 200 simple moving average, until it breaks out above there, I would just move on. I'll pass on grass. Tandem Diabetes, TNDM, Tandem. Just going berserk. This is another one similar to the medical marijuana. Like, when's it going to slow down? I mean, 59.10, why not? Sounds reasonable to me. The weekly 200 simple moving average volume is just coming in on this, and it just keeps on going up 1% every day, it seems like. So, again, I'm not in on Tandem. If I'm playing it quickly. I'm in and out, or I'm taking a small position and just holding those shares. I think 59.10, though, does seem like a reasonable target. I like the lower shadow today. I like the wick. And, yeah, I mean, this is a pennant pattern on the hourly. So if it makes a higher high and a higher low, trend is bullish. I just want to take a sizable position here. But we talked about that a lot today in the trading retreat with some traders, mentioning how 10 shares can be a game changer sometimes on the right stock. It just, simply depends on what it is that you're trying to do and what it is you're trying to accomplish. But I have no position on Tandem Diabetes. 59.10 looks like a good enough target to me, though. 2 left. GameStop, GME, huge bullish candle today. Bullish engulfing candle. Earnings are right around the corner. I don't have any position on GameStop, but I think it's a matter of time before it goes bankrupt. That is as Justin Jeffrey would say, killer bearish trend. And with earnings coming around the corner, we'll just have to see how it gaps on earnings. If it gaps up, it's almost certain to fade. And if it gaps down, it probably will fade as well. But if it doesn't, then maybe it's a gap and go and it just runs to zero. I don't know. But I will put that on the list for Thursday. GME, we'll just kind of look at it on Thursday. Last but not least on the day, Tesla. Tesla, nice bearish gap down. You had flag pattern, 2 dojis kind of back to back. And we're about to take out the one thing in the way of Tesla going lower is this bullish candle here at 288 and this little wick at 286. Here's the weekly. And the weekly looks all too obvious for Tesla to at least break this support. Since Tesla's been going sideways for so long, if it breaks that support, we probably see a lower move into eventually 261, from which Tesla will probably bounce. A lot of traders have got some put sales. I plan on doing put sales again. At 150, if Tesla gets down to 270, just throwing it out there, planning in advance, right? That's kind of one of my goals. I'll be watching that on Tesla. There's no premium right now, or at least not a lot. But if it trades a little bit lower into 261, I will buy that back. But shorter term, I like the gap today. I like the bearish movement. Keep your eyes on the prize. For my day traders, you got probably about another 12 points to go on Tesla before it starts, acting weird around 277. And then once it breaks there, if it breaks there, maybe bounces off that support, right? We'll be watching it to bounce off support. If it does, great. And if it doesn't, we'll see if it trades lower. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful stuff. Thank you for being a part of this. Tomorrow is Energy Wednesday. I'll be here same time, same place, 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 Central. So get here early. I'll be here early. Tomorrow's Energy Wednesday, and you're already throwing in tons of stocks for me to look at. Wow, I love it. APH, ACB, already got that on the list. Weed, SeaWorld, GPOR, Facebook, APPN. Gonna look at Caterpillar because we got trading into Caterpillar, BILI. Gonna put IQ on the list tomorrow. Activision Blizzard. And that LNG, First Solar, ExxonMobil, BP. Energy Wednesday. I'll be here. And until then, love life, live life, trade it. Bye.